What the fuck is happening, people? Welcome to the General Banter Podcast. It's me, Colin Geddis, your host, the one and only Colin Geddis. There's actually a couple more because I looked on Instagram and somebody is pretending to be me on Instagram and they've got the same bio as me, but then like I've got my glasses on my neck like a fucking 100-year-old. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, they got the same fucking description. And then just a photo of a fat bald guy. And we're down. We're down already. We just started and I'm choking to death because I had 15 fucking mint imperials there. You give me any sort of mints, guys. Any sort of mint. Anything sort of chalky in texture. I'm eating 15 of them till I want to fucking throw up. Anyway, here we are. This regular broadcast. I'm getting all mixed up because I put out so many goddamn podcasts these days, don't I? You know, all over fucking Patreon, all that sort of shit. But yeah, Tuesday, 26th of May. It's very sunny outside. So let's get through this, man, because the sweat is pissing down my legs.
The General Banter Podcast with Colin.
I sweat in two places, and it's my legs and my fucking head.
I want you to get yourself and your soul together. This man,
I'm about everywhere. I sweat everywhere. I'm a fat, hairy bastard.
whoever, this man will make your bladder splatter. Let's all welcome the world's godfather of soul,
Colin Geddis.
It's Geddis, actually.
Geddis.
Geddis. Fuck you. Okay. My phone is going absolutely bonkers, man. It's going fucking bonkers because big announcement this morning. What are these noises? Do I forget? Yeah, bitch! Okay, goes weird, that one. We just announced there's gonna be more SSE shows in September 2021. Yeah! Of course there is. Now, it's gonna be in October or September because you gotta allow yourself time to fucking write new material. I could be a bastard and take advantage of all you guys wanting to go out and party again. I'm gonna be sick with a mint imperial. Oh, it's minty. I could take advantage of the fact you guys have been locked up for ages and be like, okay, we're doing it in September. And you guys be, yes. And you buy a ticket and you turn up and I'm still being like, do you remember planking? You know, like stuff that's really fucking, that's quite dated. You know what I mean? Harlem Shake. Do you remember? And everyone's just gonna be sitting there like, so, I mean, even by that stage, I'll be like, do you remember coronavirus? And the parents were like, quiet. But hopefully that's what the crack is. The tickets are on sale. Not a great one. Tickets are on sale exclusively to the Patreon people from tomorrow. That'll be Wednesday, the fucking 27th of May. And that is priority seating and whatnot. And that means front row tickets, front row on the stand. It means priority boxes and stuff like that. Yes. Creepy. But they'll be on sale on the Patreon. So the people who are the Dead On Mafia, the people who have invested in the podcast, invested in me, they will get first crack at it, okay? Not great. And that'll be on the Patreon. And then they'll be on sale, general sale on Friday. And the show is called Unbelievable. Because I don't know why. I just, you know, you want, when you do these big shows, like I did the tour last year. It was called the Safe Space Tour, which is a great name. That would have been a great name for the show. But, you know, you got to have something for the big shows. The tour next year might be called something else. Very possibly the GOAT of all time. And, but the show will be called Unbelievable. That's just the way it is. You want, whenever you film these things and you put something online, you want to, you know, when you remember back, you want to be like, ooh, you know, just fucking, that's the name, one fucking word. Keeping things in mind, like, you know, Eddie Murphy's Delirious, Raw, Louis C.K., Hilarious. You know what I mean? Just things that are one word. Bill Hicks, Relentless. Relentless is a great one. I wish I could use that myself. But anyway, it's 4,000 degrees in here, so we'll crack on like a motherfucker. They're on sale. Yeah! Don't know the Don't know them. Yeah, bitch, go to the SSE. So we're giving... Oh, fuck, they're both playing at the same time. So yeah, what we're doing is we're putting them on sale. You can buy them, you can secure them, and then we will we'll let a bit of time pass. We'll let a bit of, you know, material come to the surface. And then by the time we get there, we'll be fucking killing it. Shout out to anybody. We're getting all the business shout out of the way up the front. I'm fucking not going to die in here. I'm sweating under my tits. I can feel my under my tit sweat. I need to get one of those sponsors for the podcast. You know, I keep hearing it on other podcasts where they're like, hey, we're sponsored by manscaped.com, and Manscaped is like a razor for your nutsack. And then they have like, I've gone into the future. But they also do a load of other stuff like, hey, do you want deodorant for your nuts? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you want aftershave for your fucking flaps? Yes, give me it all. Give me all that shit. That's what I need. Nice fucking sweat resistant shit down the side of my nuts. Anyway, yeah, I put the merch online finally. I was trying to sort some other stuff out, and then I was just like, listen, the chances of me ordering new merch and keeping this pumping for the next while are slim. So what I'll do is I will get it. I'll get it online and I'll get rid of it now, because people were asking me and they were like, man, where can I buy, it's 24 degrees outside, where can I buy an orange beanie? And then I'm like, there they are. And then they're sold out, I think, actually, which is amazing. You'll be walking around sweating your dick off. It'll be great. But the weather's great. We're enjoying ourselves. Don't even know what I've been up to in the last week. I pre-recorded my last Patreon podcast early. So I've just been lounging, man, you know, enjoying the sunshine, coming up with some ideas. I mentioned last week, you know, that I should crack on with the I Am Fighter documentary. And again, you know, when you're a creative person and an artist, if you could fucking stretch that far, you have doubts, you know what I mean? You go like, is it worth it? Is it good enough? What are people gonna think? And I know you're not supposed to give a shit what people think, but you know what I mean? You're entertaining people. You're like, is this gonna be worth it? Is it gonna seem weird to put this out now? And then I'll tell you what happened. The other thing holding me back was I thought I'd done a pile of edits and lost them. But in actual fact, they're there. So I found them the other day and I was like, Maureen, I found these edits from last year. And she's like, oh my God, show me. And she came in, she was carrying the baby. And I'm going to put this fucking over my head in a minute. She came in with the baby. And she sat down and I played her the video and she fucking pissed herself laughing. Maureen really laughs her head off. It's very, very funny. Her tongue sticks out like a dog, like so she thoroughly enjoyed that. And I was like, do you know what? Because I'm so immersed in it and, you know, just trying to wing it, I'm like, okay, this is just the way that I would do this. I don't necessarily find it overly that funny, but I showed her it and she's my fucking wife, bro. She spends a lot of time with me, has been around me for many, many years. You'd think she'd be bored shitless now, but in actual fact, she's seen that, she's laughing her head off. She's like, that's so funny, you have to finish that. So that gave me a bit more sort of fucking momentum to want to get it finished. So a couple of things to clear up. Today was obviously announcing the big gig. And the rest of the week will be like sort of jotting down some ideas, trying to figure out how I can film this in a lockdown. You know, we don't have to go too far. I don't have to involve anyone at all. I can literally do it myself. So I'll try and finish that off. And there's some funny scenes, man. Funny scenes. Spoiler alerts. There's one where we hung about with the old, my boys there, the Mulhall brothers, who had the fucking Game of Thrones direwolves. And they do the tours and stuff like that. And we filmed with them one day because, you know, the storyline was that Barry the Blender was doing some fight consultancy for the choreography. And my God, was it funny at the time. Funny. Very fucking funny. So there's things like that. So yeah, we'll press on and get that finished. What have we been doing, man? Just chilling. You know, Maureen's dad got a quad. And that's hilarious because I haven't been on a quad since I was a young child. And straight away you get on it and you're just like this is, and it's quite a big one. It's like a 450 or something. It's fast, man. It's pretty fast. Not with me on it, like, you know, everyone else is flying about and people are like, oh, what, you're going too fast, and I get on it and just fucking burns out on the spot. Quads are class, man, aren't they? Especially when you get, you know, a wee bit of wetness on the grass, you know. Send her fucking side roads, boy. Send her fucking sideways. That's such a fucking, the amount of culties I've met in bars and all, and they have to say things like that. Aye, good man, no, got a photo with you. Aye, fucking take care and all. Keep her sideways or what? Say it, fucking keep her between the hedges and all. Alright, bro. Give me a goddamn break. I was going out tonight and I thought, what's a good look to go and chat up women in a pub? I'll put on a pair of flares, essentially, and some brown boots and a brown belt. And I'll pull this check shirt over my apron of fat. And I'll tuck it back in, and the piece de resistance, the creme de la cremes, the cherry on this delicious pie, a Scania jacket. I drive a fucking lorry, boys. Anyway, yeah, I was out in the quad. It made me think of when I was younger, like my cousins had a quad and stuff, and you fucking just, you know what I mean? Like, you can do things when you're younger that you just can't do when you're older. Did I have this conversation recently? This shit that I done. Do you know what I mean? Like, just fucking, you know, my granny used to fucking put my BMX in the back of her Fiesta, and we used to go to like Carnfunnock Country Park in Larne. What? Miles away. And she drove there at fucking 12 mile an hour. And then I would just send this BMX off fucking everything. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, right, that looks like a jump, and just take off and fucking hit a tree midair. You know, fucking smash to the ground and just get up and be like, all right, no bother. You know, flying around corners covered in gravel, and the bike goes out from under you and just bounce along. No problem. Jump back up. I think I've taken both my nipples off. It's all good, man. You know, I remember fucking going up this hill whenever it was like snowing one time, took the trucks off a skateboard, and we're like, and the thing slowly turned backwards, and I fell like mid-air right on my neck. And I remember at the time going, man, that felt like it hurt my actual throat pipes. I bent my neck that hard. It was like, oh my God, it's aching. Just fucking play it off. Same with the quad, you know what I mean? Just fucking went down a thing that was too steep, and the thing just fucking the feet. I don't know how that happened. I didn't even hit the button. But you know, you would fucking just eat shit face first, no helmet. And I just remember some story, like my uncle at the time going, just be careful. And then it was like the worst urban myth of all time. He'd be like, here, be careful, because Splatty Blah's nephew or something came off a quad, and the brake lever went in and went straight through his body and burst his bladder. Pish everywhere. And he didn't say that, but that's what everyone was thinking. We're like, did he burst it? And then all the pish went everywhere. All the pish. Man, so many memories flying back to me. I remember, like, you know, when you're young enough where you'd be curious with not sexually curious, just like you would stop and just be like, what are you doing, to like other kids? And I remember, like, there's these kids in this bush in this housing estate, and I was like, what are you doing? And the wee kid was like, we're making pish bombs. And I was like, what's that? That sounds like I could be talked into that. And he was like, oh, we're just pishing in a water balloon. Now, I don't even know the fucking the physics of that. Because even when you're a kid, your dick wouldn't be small enough to get into a fucking water balloon. They're tiny. But you know what I mean? These are young kids that, you know, in a few years' time might be making a nail bomb or something along those lines. So it's nothing to them to put pish in a fucking water balloon. I remember someone filling a water balloon sort of half full and throwing it directly in the middle of my back, full clip, and obviously there was enough cushion in there where it didn't burst, and it fucking very rarely, you know, I've had a lot of injuries in my time, and very rarely a lot of them were so sore you just didn't really have time to like cry, like ah! You were usually just going ah and fucking gripping, you know, the grass. But I remember that. I remember it hitting me in the middle of the back and me just being like, like that. And I was like, man, I will fucking, it's going to be so embarrassing for me to come back and, you know, to school the next day to finish my A-levels. Who's that out the window there? Oh, it's the old fucking wife and child. And auntie, who is now godmother. We officially did that. This is funny. This is funny. We Maureen's sister, Dutch Frank, we were like, they've been around us, you know, since the baby was born, been around a lot, helped us so much, like, you know, all these hospital runs and taking the baby and even taking the baby overnight, early days whenever I had to go back up to the hospital with Maureen in the morning or something like that. And Maureen was like, it's weird because of lockdown, you can't celebrate everything. There's been people have had birthdays, people have had all sorts of shit. We had, you know, fucking anniversaries, and Maureen had her 30th. You know, a bunch of stuff that never got celebrated because of the current scenario. And we were like, right, let's make a wee card for her sister and be like, would you like to be the godparents to Eddie, right? Very nice. You know, there's no fucking official churchy bullshit going on. So and I was like, yes, that would be lovely. You know, they're more or less doing that anyway, but that'd be nice. And then we're talking away, and she's like, right, what else? We can't go to the shop. We can't get anybody anything. And I was like, why don't you get her like an Amazon voucher or something? And she goes, oh no, we'll get her like an ASOS voucher. Then you can just kind of buy clothes and buy whatever you want. And I went, great idea. So she got her one of those, which is basically like an email. So you put the other person's email in and just fucking they get the email and be like, congrats, you can spend fucking 50 quid in ASOS or something. And those things were talked about a few days apart. So when it came around us doing our little cute fucking birthday party for her, you know, it was a little social distance birthday party. And we don't need a social distance. We've been fucking locked in together for fucking 3 months now. We give her the card and she opens it up and she's all crying and all. We had one of those Moonpig cards like made, which goes against everything we stand for as a family. You better make someone a card, like, even if it's on the back of a fucking napkin, you gotta make a card. So, but we wanted a photo on it quickly and we got a Moonpig one anyway. She opens the card, everyone's eating a bit of cake and all, and she's like reading it, she's crying and going, oh my god, that's so lovely. And I'm sitting there going, that's a bit much for a fucking ASOS voucher, isn't it? You know what I mean? I know times are hard, but like, for fuck's sake, I'm sure you could get a couple of bits of fucking ASOS at this rate. Forgetting completely that the card was like, oh, would you like to be our godparents? You know, it's like quietly whispered. I was like, fuck it, fucking bit of an overreaction for an ASOS voucher, Jesus Christ. Maureen's like, no, that's the godparents one. I was like, oh, dickhead. Fucking asshole. Always ruining a good moment, old Geddis over here. And that's, you know, that's why we're doing comedy, because that's almost my role in life, is like, oh, is this a serious moment that we all need to share? Let me shit on it by turning the attention back to myself. Much like Maureen's friend who called around a few years ago and she was like, she was big into like Slimming World, and Maureen was like, oh, have you eaten this? And blah, blah. And she goes, well, I've got a bit of a calorie cheat for Slimming World now. And I went, oh, what is it? Have you got a tapeworm? And then her friend went, no, I am with child. And I went, I'll be in the garage for the next 2 days. Bye. Oh, I was fucking embarrassed. So I was. But here, I wasn't embarrassed. I would get more embarrassed. I mean, realistically, the thing that would embarrass me the most is karaoke. But so anyway, watch caught in the thing there. It was a bank holiday yesterday, and I'll tell you what. Did everyone get an email? Did everyone get the memo where it said you must spend this up the morns? That's all I seen was people fucking were up the morns the whole time. Oh, we'll go there. There'll be no one there. And then you take a photo, you take a selfie, and there's like 500 people behind you. Like it's some sort of pilgrimage. Let's go up sleeve fucking onions. What are they called? Let me see the name of the morns. They're all stupid names. Gross. Let me see. Morn Mountain names. can't spell. Sleeve Donard, Sleeve Binion, Sleeve Berna, Sleeve Muck. Now, Muck Sleeve, something else altogether. Stick it up my Muck sleeve. Oh, dear, tell you what. Had my hand halfway up her Muck sleeve, and wasn't even my birthday. Sleeve Gullion, Sleeve Comida, was it? Sleeve Mealmore, Sleeve Mealbag, you fucking mealbag. Cock Mountain. Are these all real? Cock Mountain sounds like a fucking website, doesn't it? Worst Disneyland attraction of all time. Visit Cock Mountain. Now, Sleeve Muck is my favourite one. But yeah, every fucker in the country was up the morns. It's me up the morns now. Could you be fucked, like, realistically? Not really. But Sleeve Donard, there it is, 850 metres. That's the big one. That's the one Shane Todd went up the other week with his arse out. So that's fun. I mean, it was almost like, do you know the way people do, like, what do you call that? Oh my God, what do you call that when people do, like, Lent? When people do Lent and then they're like, yeah, but it's St. Paddy's Day, I'm just going to get fucked anyway. Bank holidays are a bit like that during lockdown. It's like, lockdown, social distancing, stay apart, you're going to get diseased, stay at home, save lives. And they're like, but it's a bank holiday. And I'm like, all right then, everyone go to fucking Port Rush. It's impossible to catch a fucking disease at a beach. So there you go. I did nothing. Cut some grass, baby. You know, got a crack on the old ride-along mower. Feeling like a real dad, you know what I mean? Just fucking cutting that grass, player. Goes like fucking 2 mile an hour. You get that good stance, you know what I mean? Hand over the... If you watch comedians in cars, whenever fucking... What do you call him? Obama was on it. He didn't even put his hand on the steering wheel. He rested his forearm on it. That was me. Just fucking... They say me mo and... Boring as shit. It's quite therapeutic, but just like... Such a da, man. Such a da. I've run out of shit to talk about already. I do too many podcasts, and by the time I get around to this one, I've run out of shit. Just run clean out of shit. I was listening to the General Banter Podcast the other day. What was he up to? Cutting grass. Unbelievable. Unbelievable times. It is hilarious. The big issue this week, of course, was our boy Dominic Cummings. Cummings or goings? What? Make up your fucking mind, bruh. He fucking... he's getting shit. You know? Everyone's like, bro, you can't sort of tell everyone to stay at home and then you make this fucking 60 mile round trip. This is the order of proceedings that he had, right? Travelled from... This is 27th of March. This is a good while ago. Travelled from work in Westminster to his home on the 27th of March after his wife, the journalist Mary Wakefield, fell ill. Then returned to work hours later. Driven his wife and son from London to County Durham that evening. Stayed at a cottage on his parents' farm. Developed COVID symptoms on the 20th of March. Driven on the 3rd of April to pick up his wife and son from hospital, where his son had stayed overnight. Threw up and had a bad fever. Driven around 30 minutes from his family farm to the town of Barnard Castle on Easter Sunday. 15 days after he had displayed symptoms, in an effort to test his eyesight and readiness to drive back to London. Taking his family back to London on the 13th of April. And people are cracking up because they're like, listen, man, you can't be telling people to act one way and then you get to act the other way. And it's a case of, like, someone brought this up the other week. They were talking about the guy on the fucking internet, you know, people slamming him for him, you know, teaching his dog some Nazi shit. And I watched the thing the other night about comedians getting in trouble, and Dapper Laughs was on that. And it's just a case of, like, people, I feel like if they don't like certain people anyway, once they slip up once, they're just like coming down on them like a ton of shit. And I think it's the same here, you know, this fucking Tory weirdo who nobody fucking likes anyway. And then he fucks up and everyone's just like, you fucking bastard. But in reality, it's hard to know, because would I have fucking done anything different? Probably not. You know, I don't know what if that's what the crack was. You know, he's saying like they were showing signs of being sick, and maybe they did want to, if they were too sick and they needed a bit of help from their parents or something, maybe they would go. And I know people are going to listen to this and be like, "Oh, Geddis is sticking up for this asshole." What would you have done? What's your alternative? Obviously, these fucking Tories, like, no one goes like, "We needed help from my parents, so we drove to the fucking council estate that they lived on." It's always like, "We went to my parents' farm where we could isolate, you know, in a separate cottage that they own on the premises." But you don't know, man. I mean, obviously the guy's a fucking rat, like, but what would you have done something different? I don't think I'm so different, and that there is one rule for me and one rule for other people. I don't regret what I did. He found out his wife was ill on the 27th of March, briefly telling some officials in number 10 what happened. He immediately left the building, ran to my car and drove home. After a couple of hours, she felt a bit better. There were many critical things at work, and she urged me to return the afternoon, and I did. The crux of the issue hasn't been answered. Who's this? Lewis Goodall. If a couple of Cummings' enormous resources and social capital couldn't follow the guidelines in the way everyone understood them without travelling 260 miles, were the guidelines abused in the first place? And why could everyone else do it? I mean, yeah, he kept going like, "What I've done, I don't regret it," and it was legal. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of them it's just like, people just love catching cunts out, like. You know, and obviously, you know, they're saying like it was such a long trip that he was bound to have stayed somewhere. But, you know, it's one of those things. If you had kids and you were like, "Right, I feel like I'm getting sick. I wonder, could we get them to our parents?" Yeah, but then we give it to the fucking parents too. I don't know. It's just a tricky situation, but everyone just loves being like, "Ah, fuck you, you Tory cunt." And then the funniest bit for me was, you know, he's getting hammered for all this shit, and "Oh, you had COVID and you're fucking driving about the country." And then, I mean, the dodgiest bit to me is like, driven 30 minutes from his family farm to the town of Barnard Castle 15 days after he displayed symptoms in an effort to test his eyesight and readiness to drive back to London. Full of shit. I bet he was dogging. I bet he's like, "Listen, I got rid of this chest infection. Time to fuck some dudes in a park. Get it on the flow. Get it on the flow." Yeah, it seems like it. He probably was like, "I just, you know, I used to go here. I might go for a nice walk." You know, he's probably like, "Fuck, I'm stuck in the house with my parents and my wife, and I'm going out to this park to just fucking pull my dick off." I don't know, but people, I mean, it's a bit like the other guy who was sneaking out to get the ride, and he's like a chief medical I mean, I feel like that guy's knowledge is probably more important than this fucking guy, like, but yeah, it's just, they just fucking lie. I mean, obviously, like, you gotta stay at home, but in the UK, the rules, maybe, do you know what? It might actually be fucking Boris's fault or their fault for not putting the guidelines out, or actually having some sort of fucking rules around it, where it's like, you don't want that either, but there's some countries where it was like, "Yeah, we catch you outside and the fucking cops beat the shit out of you and throw you in a van." Or you get fined heavily. The fucking thing was so vague over here that they were probably just like, "Ah, fuck it, sure. Do what I want round here." Know what I mean? Fuck off. You know, you said stay at home unless you gotta make an essential journey. And he's probably just went, "It seems like an essential journey for me to get these kids to my parents before the two of us start fucking coughing up blood here. Let me jump in the fucking brand new Discovery," which I've seen on the ad, while he's fighting through reporters. That's so funny to me. Everything is fucking just a fucking hypocrisy. You know, "Oh, do you think it was necessary to make the fucking 260 round drive? Blah, blah, blah. Do you think that was spreading the disease and everything?" Meanwhile, there's fucking 30 reporters like touching cheeks Do you think that was unnecessary? And then he comes out acting a hero with his fucking kid's bike. Sorry, you gotta be 2 meters apart, excuse me. I bet he was loving that. I bet he was like, oh guys, you guys are gonna spread COVID if you don't spread out. Move out of the way to get to the fucking brand new discovery here. Ding. Boot opens by itself and all. The whole thing's a fucking mess. But that's what happens when the rules aren't really laid out in the first place. But then again, do we need rules? It's all over the fucking place. There's places where they were like, listen, there's a fucking, like, what was it, like Sweden or somewhere? One of those smart, rich countries where they were just like, listen, man, there's going to be a virus and it's within your interest to stay at home or else you're going to get it and spread it. And they're like, okay, we will stay at home then, it's okay. And the numbers are fucking low as shit. I don't know. The whole thing's a mess. But it is cute that, like, you know, he's got this tiny little fold-out desk in his garden. Cock. Look at him. What would have been hilarious if he walked out of his house with that wee tiny bike and the helmet and was like, sorry guys, you gotta be fucking 2 meters apart, and then he hopped on this wee tiny bike and just pedaled off.
Social distancing. Yeah.
And he's wearing his sweats and all.
You're supposed to be more than 2 meters apart.
Scundered.
You're supposed to be more than 2 meters apart. Move out the way. Watch out. You defend your actions, Mr. Cummings, during the lockdown. Not a good look, Mr. Cummings, is it?
Why do you think it was reasonable to travel 260 miles, Mr. Cummings, when you might have taken coronavirus?
I behaved reasonably and legally. Hey, little kid, are you ready to go?
That's not a good look, though, is it, Mr. Cummings?
Who cares about good looks? Well, it's a question of doing the right thing. It's not about what you guys think.
I mean, as much as it kills me to fucking say it, can you really argue with that? You know what I mean? Can you be like, listen, I thought it was the right thing to do? I mean, like, there's plenty of people who I seen like, oh, their lockdown's been announced and they were in fucking Australia or something, and then the next minute they were home. You know, so there was people still moving about, like, at the early days of lockdown. Or people were like, oh, it's, oh shit, the lockdown's coming into effect. Do I want to spend this time alone in a flat in London, or will I just scoot home to the family? There's a ton of shit going on like that. And I know when we lived in Belfast in a flat and there was no garden and whatever, as soon as the weekend came and there was a bit of sun, we were straight down the road to like Maureen's parents. We just fucking stayed there. And I know if you had to be locked down and you were like, right, do we just fucking pack this shit and make one run to, you know, someone's parents who live in the country where you're going to have a bit more freedom if you're, you know, at least you can walk about outside? Absolutely, I would do it myself. So I don't know, I can't fucking judge anybody. I mean, the guy's a fucking knobhead, like, but it's just that thing of like, everybody's done it. Everybody has been like, you should stay, and everyone's just made wee runs, or like, oh, it'd be nice to walk around the park today, wouldn't it? Or it'd be nice to do this. You know, everyone's done wee things that are like a wee bit fucking sneaky, aren't they? You know, maybe fucking go and meet up with my mate and we'll just, you know, drink beers in a park somewhere. Everyone's done wee bits of shits like that. But I think it's when you start in a position like that guy started, like, oh yeah, I'm dishing out advice and you should do this. And then he's like, I'm fucking wealthy and whatever, so I'll just fucking go and do whatever. I don't know. You guys have learned nothing from anything I've just said there, because it's poorly researched. And the main thing we're going to take away from this whole podcast is that I came across the term muck sleeve. Get it up the muck sleeve. I'm going to write that down. Muck sleeve. Fuck yeah. Take it up the muck sleeve. I was trying to find this video. How Sweden is keeping its pubs and bars open. Keen to hear.
I'm old and I'm enjoying a beer in the sun with my friends here in Stockholm. Cheers.
Class. That's a coffee, but whatever. How are they doing it, man? Because
Johanna. I work for a club in Stockholm.
Johanna, what is the absolute crack?
Big outdoors venue with a capacity of 2.
Shout out to Johanna there. She's like, you're going to be on British TV. And she's like, it's fine. I'm very sexy anyway. I'm just going to wear this sort of ribbed jumper with my nipples out. It's okay. We're all very mature here in Sweden. You know, we're so uninterested in having sex with each other. We're just having a latte on the deck.
But this year we had to do it a bit different. One of the
Johanna, fucking relax, would you?
main things that the authorities has told us is that you cannot order from the bar. It has to be table service only, and it has to be sitting service. So you have to sit down when you drink.
No bother at all! You must sit down and drink. You can't make any effort to walk around or talk to anybody. And basically, I will bring you beer with both my fucking Smarties poking out. No sweat at all. Look at this fucking place, bro.
So to keep everyone safe, we've secured that it's 2 meters between every seating. And you can only be 3 people per blanket.
More than enough. More than enough, people. Just me, you, and fucking my friend Stella.
I came out like today just because like I feel safe now that as soon as I'm respecting the recommendations, I feel like it's fine.
I said it.
Isn't it funny that you can go to like Sweden and try and get an opinion from someone who English is not their first language? It's like, man, as soon as the recommendations have lifted or whatever, I'd be confident enough to go out in public and see what the... If you were speaking to someone in Belfast, like, here, fucking the sun came out, no, I was thinking, like, fucking, you get a dose of fucking the cold, like, it gives a fuck, know what I mean? Just sloshing 2 pints of harp about, I don't give a fuck, mate, to be honest with you, know what I mean? Fuck, passion in the fucking street outside Juggy York. I just want, like, fucking, know what I mean? Fucking, that's the government trying to fucking keep us in the house while the fucking economy shuts down to rinse all the dirty money, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck that, gives a pint. I'll be at fuck that. I think, you know, making a sort of educated, you know, guess saying that, you know, the levels of COVID are so low, and if we keep to social distancing, I don't see why there would be any further spread of this sort of... I was in the house, I was about to fucking strangle her. I was like, you don't let me out for a... It's either I bring fucking COVID back and that kills you, or I'll fucking kill everyone in here. Fucking melt my brain. See you later. Johanna, get the fucking Maltesers out.
It's like I'm doing something criminal, but we also wanted to support this place because we always come here when it's the premiere.
All these girls, like,
I mean, it's
you know, kind of, you know, like, you know, that sort of like, a little bit hipster but sexy still. You know, like, I'm just, you know, whatever, smoking a fucking rollie and just being a bit sultry and cool. And the dudes, nerds.
weird, but it's nice to be out, and I think it's all right when you sit outside and you try to follow the rules.
Sit outside and get fucking wiped.
Are so good. People are enjoying the vibe. The sun is out, and no mingling, no dancing. So at the moment we can handle the situation.
Unbelievable.
My name is Joachim, I'm 26-year-old. I'm the manager of International Bar Stockholm. We recently had to shut...
The outside thing makes sense, you know. I don't... inside's a bit trickier when people are on top of each other. But that's because these people are sensible, you know what I mean? There's no one out there like fucking... They've went for drinks, but they also have a half bottle of Buckfast in their fucking bag. Like, we're out, we're enjoying beer, and it's very cool, whatever, and we'll have some socially distanced fucking later on. Just so open about sex, though, you know. You know, it's good to see my friends, but ultimately, you know, be nice to engage in some sexual intercourse with an actual human. So we're going to make sure that we can do that safely. My penis is long and smooth and clean. Bring Johanna back.
Down for 2 days, which felt really,
I'd fuck that guy too. Like, you know what I mean? They're so androgynous. There's like, hey, I have a chiseled face and long blonde hair and full lips. What's the difference? You know? What's the difference? You have an outie, I have an innie. What's the problem?
We have reopened that, especially we have introduced these plexiglass walls that we have put between the groups of people. We have put keep going.
It's embarrassing how good.
Of course,
like it's funny, like
we do what we.
Maureen's sister, they're going out with Dutch Frank. You know, he speaks fucking fluent West Belfast now, and not one of us know any Dutch. Like, it's so funny. But there you go. The country has seen 26,000 cases and 3,000 deaths, which is pretty fucking low, isn't it? But these are intelligent, wealthy, fucking good white people. You can't show Irish people. No, Irish people aren't white, but you can't allow people over here to do that shit. It starts off good, and then it's just like turns into shit. We're being socially distanced and all, and then someone takes a fucking loose pill out of their pocket. Do you want a fucking diazepam? He's like, oi! Bloop! COVID, fucking food poisoning, diarrhea all at once, mate. Where else would you get it? So there you go. Fair play to them. Sexy bastards. Coronavirus in Scotland. How many cases are there? Fucking loads, man. Anyway, we'll move away from that. We've got to wrap this podcast up very shortly before I sweat clean through my trunks. Facts about COVID. Nah, we're done. We're done with it, aren't we? I bought a watch the other day. What the fuck is wrong with me? One of these days, I'm going to fucking bankrupt my family. And all we're going to have is like one watch and be eating dog food, but it's all good. Right, we'll wrap this up very shortly. It's kind of shorter podcast. If you want more, patreon.com/General Banter Podcast also get you access to, you know, merch and tickets and stuff early like that. And it'll be the first people to get any video content that goes out, of course. I keep seeing these things online where it's like people who have maybe lost a bit of weight or look good or whatever, and they take a photo and then they have to take a second photo and be like, this is what I actually look like, in case some fucking loser gets bothered by it. You know, you get some girl and she's like full blown 10, you know what I mean? Like full screamer, stand there like, And then she takes one sitting down sideways with like, you know, folds of skin. Inappropriate. And you know, she takes the photo and she can't just be like, listen, I work out, I'm a fucking vegan, I eat well, and this is how I look, I'm hot as shit. She has to take a photo from the side and be like, in case any of you fucking wasters get offended by how good I look because I actually fucking make some effort, here's what I look like when I sit down. There's a couple of rolls of fat, there's a fucking stretch mark, even though who the fuck he would even give a fuck about that at all. There we go, that's me, I'm normal now, in case any of you fucking heaps of shit are crying into a fucking Pop-Tart. There's this thing has come about now where it's like, it started off, it's like, oh, you're fat shaming, oh, you're this shaming, or you're able shaming, or you're fucking whatever, and all these shame things come about, and you're like, what? No one's doing what someone might just be doing is being like, I'm sort of proud of myself a wee bit, you know, look at that, I've worked. If you've worked hard on something and you're like, look at this, you shouldn't be worried about what the fuck other people think. It's like effort shaming. You know, it's like going, oh, look, I fucking have abs now. And then you go, listen, I'm really, really fortunate that, you know, I have the free time and whatever to do this. And people have been like, you know, I know not everyone can achieve abs and whatever. You have to fucking like back out of everything you do. You know, it's like, it'd be like me fucking, you know, be like, oh, I'm putting on a show in the SSE and then having to fucking backtrack and be like, listen, I know I'm not out there working in the front line and everything, but I feel like I'm bringing something to the table, light entertainment for my dream job, whatever the fuck. Just fucking buy the tickets and go and laugh your dick off. What's the problem? There's a lot of that shit. Just shit that's fucking... You gotta fucking... I don't know, why can't you do good shit? You know the fucking... What's it, Kanye West? My life is dope and I do dope shit. Why can't you do cool stuff and then just fucking celebrate it instead of having to be like, nah, I realize that I'm in a privileged position. Even though I worked fucking every day for like fucking 11 years or whatever. You know, you have to just bullshit everything. And the amount of photos of these personal trainers, like, there's a photo of them fully shredded. Did I talk about this in the last podcast? I probably did. I'm losing my fucking mind around here. Fully shredded. And then the one beside them, they've put on a bit of weight and they're like, this one I was unhappy. This one I'm happy. Then fucking quit. Pizza equals happiness. If you don't want to be a fat cunt, don't eat the pizza. It's uncomfortable for a while. Oh! Drives me fucking bananas. Sick to death of it. Sick to death of it. There's just this weird, humble, braggy bullshit fucking... You know, I'm trying to get people on my side for working out and being fit, and then I'm trying to get regular fucking losers to follow me by you know, telling them that it's not a big deal. I just got a memory pop up there from our honeymoon in Mexico. Jesus Christ, what a time. There I am there, fat as shit. I'm fatter there, without a doubt. Without a doubt fatter. There's a picture of an iguana. I can remember, I was talking about this the other day, but there was a definitive moment. Look at the music they put over for... Oh, look at that girl's fat hole in the background. Is that why I took that photo? Or... and I loved the fact that it was full of like old, rich Americans, but then you would get picked up the odd time by like, you know, the guys that work there, and they would be like, oh, these are young, funky people. And go, you having a good time on the resort? And you're like, yeah. And he goes, man, you want some fucking cocaine? You want some weed, man? Honestly, like, I've never been offered drugs more in my fucking life. Walking down the street, they're like, okay, let me see some tourists get off the bus. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Big fucking fat white guy with the snapback. Hey, bro, you take coke? You take cocaine? I see you're walking along with your new wife having a delicious night. You dressed up, you're wearing a shirt. Do you want to make it spicy with heroin? Huh? Everywhere I go, we get offered drugs. Hey, man. I see you're sitting down, bottle of wine, having a romantic dinner. Oh, you got risotto? You got risotto? You know what would make this nice, my friend? Ounce of weed. Probably would, actually. But, you know, fucking just read the scenario, bro. Hey, that's cool, man. We kidnap you, hollow out your brains full of cocaine. I can remember sneaking into clubs before I was even old enough to do so. I was about 16. People would be like, man, have you got any E's? Like, what is it about this look that people think I've got fucking drugs on me all the time? Everywhere. You know, it doesn't matter what city you walk. You walk through fucking Amsterdam, people are like, you want cocaine? You want coke? You want some Charlie? I'm still a Mexican guy in fucking Amsterdam. It's funny just thinking about going to Mexico. Like, you're on this resort and you know, honeymoon, like, you know what I mean? Dish out a bit of cash for it. And then fucking, you know, you drive outside the gates of it where there's armed guards, and you go into the town and you're like, oh, I see what they're doing there. They're putting on the big show for the white folks. And then when you get home, it's a fucking... Or when you get outside, it's a fucking dump, mate. Class. There was a fat woman with a fucking Robbie Williams tattoo. I mean, there's certain tattoos you can get, isn't there? Where you're like big AC/DC fan, you know, Led Zeppelin, things that have cool imagery. I'm gonna get this tattoo. That's cool, isn't it? Oh, it's cool if, you know, get a Motorhead tattoo. You can't be some fat bitch from like fucking Leeds and be like, I'm getting a Robbie Williams tattoo, the big R and the W with a star on it. Yes, I love him so much. And she was older too, which means like even at fucking his peak, whenever she got the tattoo, she was probably 40. Imagine you were single, right? And you were like, oh man. Like, say you were on holiday with your mates and you're like, oh my God, look at this girl here, man. You know, and you you end up talking to her and you're like, I can't believe she's fucking talking to me, man. She's laughing and all. This is going great. And you fucking take a risk. You're like, oh, we're going here tonight. We should meet up and whatever. Yeah, oh my God, sounds great. And you're like, fuck me, this is unbelievable. You know? Find her on Facebook, send your mates a photo. Look at this girl. Jesus Christ, fucking hell, mate. You're fucking punching. You lucky bastard. No. Meet up with her. You know, have a few drinks, whatever. Have dinner. Oh, it's nice. Chat all night. It's great. You know, everyone gets a few wines in them. You're like, oh, let's keep it sensible. And you're like, right, I'll see you tomorrow. And then, you know, tongue city. Let's go upstairs. Everyone, you know, I mean, everyone's feeling a wee bit feisty. Fucking clothes coming off everywhere. Oh, it's getting real saucy. You know what I mean? Presents the rump. You know what I mean? You're feeling it's getting real fucking hot and steamy. You're on the balcony. You're like, man, this is fucking crazy. Can't believe this is fucking happening. Fucking spin around and all, you know what I mean? Bent over the balcony. You stick it in me, pappy. You know what I mean? Pull them fucking jeans off. Robbie Williams tramp stamp. When you just grab her fucking ankles and tip her over the fucking balcony. Whiskey! What would be the fucking worst thing to see? And so, what would be the worst tramp stamp from a artist or a band? Imagine, oh my God, can you imagine like just fucking, you know what I mean? Someone just pulls their top up and it just says My Chemical Romance across their belly. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake. That would put me off more. If someone went like, oh, I'm fucking HIV positive, I'd be like, so fucking what? Do you know what I mean? If there was a tattoo of a fucking questionable band, I'd be like, for fuck's sake. Oh, so hot apart from fucking that. Oh, fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Pulls the top up, does that epic fucking tit drop. Your tits just go blah, 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 blah. It's just like, and it just says King. You'd be like, oh, fucking hell. Just slapping your fucking dick off a table. Oh, go away. Fuck. Oh. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you'd be out the door. I tested positive for COVID. Sure, you can't catch it in your asshole. You know, things getting real sexy. Man, let's nip into this fucking whatever together for 2 seconds. Okay, clothes flying off and everything. Oh yeah, trousers off, tattoo on her leg. The script. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gay now. Oh, for the love of Jesus. I'm just out of jail for kidding. I don't give a fuck about that. The script? Are you fucking joking me? Listen to the fucking, you know the way like they sort of stamp your stuff here? Places you've taken photos, which is kind of scary. Mexico. Belgium to Netherlands. California. Dungannon. Anyway, now I'm making jokes about the script. I couldn't fucking name you one script song, but sure. I'm gonna get out of here, folks, because we'll keep this podcast short, and I got some merch to pack up for you folks. I haven't checked any stock in a while, so if you want to get on there, you'll see what's left. A lot of the jumpers went straight away as soon as it goes online. People are like, bro, are you getting any of them fucking stock? The way it works is it's so much fucking money to order stock, and then you gradually hopefully make it back as you chip away. But thing is, I'm gonna have to make another big order of these jumpers and stuff, or t-shirts. And in this day and age, I just don't know when or how that happens with the lockdown and stuff. So maybe I'll just get the order in and see how long it fucking takes. But it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. Not a major fucking money maker, to be honest. I'm doing it more just to have my own stuff. So yeah, I'll just do it at my own fucking leisure, and then at some point we'll take it real serious and, you know, get people to distribute it and fucking blah de blah. But yeah, that's it. If you want a ticket for the SSC tickets, if you want to go on a Patreon, the early bird tickets will be up tomorrow, and general on sale can't talk will be on motherfucking Friday. And that's about it, folks. I am gonna have to wring out my shorts. I've sweated that much. But cheers for listening. Get yourself on the Patreon. We're gonna see if we can get some guests and stuff. I don't know what the fuck we're doing to Zoom at the minute and stuff, but hopefully that shit ends and I can do some socially distanced interviews at the new studio in Belfast in a month or two or so. Who knows? But anyway, cheers for listening. ColinGeddis.com for merch. Patreon.com/General Banter Podcast for more content and indeed access to merch and whatever. Cheers for listening. See you later, guys. Big kisses.